This is round 3 of the Cornerstone held in Seattle at the Missing Piece. The top of the screen is one of my locals from Portland, Landon, playing Savior. And then I am also on the bottom of the screen playing Persecutor. But Landon and I, as well as a couple other guys, came up from Portland to play at this Cornerstone. We were very happy to kind of hang out with the Seattle area people and play in this event. And we were a little less... It's always sad when you get paired against one of your locals at an event, but it does happen. So turn 1, Landon able to get out a little extra value there with one of the sites that generates a skeleton. I think this is Open Grave. Turn 2. Playing a Spore Spout. I had to play two sites here that I have not been able to leverage and take advantage of. So looks like I don't have a 2-drop for Spore Spout to kind of get that aggressive positioning in on Landon there with that, and I had to use the Den of Evil turn 1, so wasn't able to take advantage of that ramp either. Landon also having a slow start. Savior decks typically take until at least turn 3 to get going, just because you need the little extra mana. The curve is a little heavier because you have to take into account if you want to use its ability, it costs 1. Turn 3 playing that Desert out to ping off the skeleton. Now I have 3 mana to work with. Looking at my hand, I think I see a Forsaken on the very back there. That's something I could play, but instead I'm going to do a Noxious Corpse and then take advantage of the Persecutor ability to advance myself forward. I want to start getting forward on the board sooner, just because Landon has chosen to play very defensively on the back row and made me kind of extend my reach here. So it's going to take me a little bit longer with Savior to get forward, and I need to start that move as soon as possible. Landon playing Buried Alive to get rid of the Noxious Corpse at his door, and then passing turn. Beginning of turn 4 here. It looks like I choose to draw a spell instead of a sight. I have some options in my hand. I see a Sturmgeist, a Bone Spear, which is always nice, Snallygaster. So I have, looks like I have a lot of nice things on curve that I can start playing out here. Go ahead and play a Sturmgeist, tap to draw a sight, pass turn. I think I want to get to at least 4 mana on the curve here. And I luck into drawing from the Atlas the Cursed Tower in my hand. Cursed Tower, super important in this matchup against Savior, just because I need an ability to I'm going to need an ability to break wards, probably. Before he took his turn, I asked if I could change the positioning really quick on the Sturmgeist. I changed my mind. I wanted it summoned to the desert. Landon said that was fine, and then he took his turn. Tapping for Blessed Well, and again, still not wanting to make any contact with my sights and give me an opening onto his sights to attack. 4 mana for an Failed Mutation, and then passing turn. So Failed Mutation, 4 power on curve here. even if he had had an additional mana, it's a monster, so it's an evil classified minion, and it can't be warded. So that feels like a good drop on turn 4 there. If you don't have something else that you want to drop with a ward on. Landon musing, so just clarifying that the mutation can't be targeted or damaged by magic, and so he's saying like, yeah, like you can use something like a Pecan to get it out because it's not targeted, but you can't use a bone shard as an example. He doesn't know, but I have a bone shard in my hand, unfortunately, and I would love to be able to leverage that and leverage that in order to deal with the failed mutation. But unfortunately, I've got to figure something else out here. With the positioning I'm in right now, and Sterngeist has Airborne, but I can't get over to a site to attack it without the failed mutation blocking. So I'm thinking about what I want to do here. I drew a spell for turn, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to play that accursed tower. Yet I needed to hold it in hand, so I don't have a site to play. I'm opting to take a step forward again to the failed mutation, just so I can start getting the Persecutor in position to swing when I need to be able to start doing that. And then I tap for a spell, or excuse me, tap to draw a sight with the Persecutor to get another sight in hand. Just because I want to play out sights, but I need to hold that accursed tower for when I really need it. Paying 3 for a Snallygaster. And then passing turn. In retrospect, looking at this board state, it might have been a little bit stronger just to positionally use a movement on the Sturmgeist. It has Airborne, so it can it could fly over to the stream that's open there. Choosing not to attack, just to move. To get in a better position here with the Sturmgeist. That way it would have threatened to be able to attack into that valley he has tucked away in the corner. And he would have had to kind of move the failed mutation if he wanted to keep pace with it. Landon trying to attack the Sturmgeist with the failed mutation, and then forgetting that it has Airborne, and I just pointed that out really quick, so he rewound that, and then just choosing to attack the site. I'm letting that through. It's just it's unpalatable to lose Sturmgeist. It's too strong a piece to lose here, and I don't want to just chump block with a Sturmgeist. I don't want to just chump block with the Snallygaster. I also didn't want to double block and lose. Yeah, I just didn't want to double block and lose one of those pieces at this time. Landon getting out Night Watchman, paying the 1 to ward it. He's got a lot of wards out at this point now. Starting my turn here, drawing another spell, and I have that accursed tower. So I think this is the turn that I pull a report on that and play the accursed tower. Just because he has those 3 wards on board. He hasn't really given me a lot of other site options that I can attack into, and I think he's going to just continue to creep across the board here. He's perfectly happy to just have like this one bottleneck, or force me to kind of widen it with my site placement. So I'm weighing just weighing through my options here. This is not a great bottleneck to be in. Like I need to force through another lane that I can set up an attack from. It hurts having the Sturmgeist where it is right now, and this is what I was talking about having about taking that movement to reposition. Choosing to pop the wards with that accursed tower, like I had mentioned earlier. I think maybe in retrospect, maybe it would have been better to play it on the other side of the desert, just because he had already played that valley all the way into the corner there, and it would just give me one additional site I could potentially get to, versus on the side of the board that I played the accursed tower over there. There's no guarantee that he's going to continue to build out from that chapel into the corner. So I think it just gives you one more square in terms of potential sites to attack into. So I had 4 mana for turn. I paid 2 for a static. That was a static servant, I think that's what it's called. To deal 1 damage to everything. So my avatar had to take a point of damage in order to do that, but now I'm able to at least do a trade, or invite a trade with these pieces I have. So I'm attacking the failed mutation. He has an option to defend with the Night Watch, that are no longer warded. So, it's not a great option for me. If he defends, it's essentially just like an even trade there on the board. But at this point, I kind of have to take it. I think he was asking how much mana I had left, just to see what else I might have up my sleeve here. Depending on what he chooses to do. He only has the one option, right? It's either defend or don't defend with that piece. He's choosing to defend and make that trade. It's an even trade. And then I'm going to go ahead, and I don't have another follow-up to get rid of that thing. So I need to take the opportunity now to remove that failed mutation from the board. It hurts to have to trade it with the Sturmgeist, because the Sturmgeist is such a strong minion. With a great ability, but sometimes you have to take the trades you have to do. My last 2 mana, playing out that Forsaken, has to get played into a corner, and then fortunately in a decent position because he chose to play out with the chapel there, which is nice. I believe Landon, tap for a site there. He has 5 mana in his mana pool to work with on this turn. Attempting to play a Faith Incarnate, but he rolled that back because he did not like not having the additional mana to use the Savior ability to ward it when it comes into play. So, giving me a little bit of information there, and potentially scary if he can align the stars and kind of get that piece pumped up with wards. Currently, two wards back on the board right now. That Penitent Knight is a 3 warded against. And the well still has a ward on it, obviously. I still have that Bone Spear in my hand. If I had another way to pop the ward on the Penitent Knight, that would almost I think that would be a good play. Just do that, sacrifice my static. I'm attacking the site just to push some damage in, just to see what he's going to do there. He chose not to block and lose the ward, which is fine. I think I'm just choosing the move with Aesthetic Servant. It looks like I have a Foul Bones in my hand as well. An option would have been to, sacrifice the. I mean, I had some options that I could have done there. I didn't, like, it was really unpalatable to have to kind of spend so many cards just to deal with that one vanilla 3 that is warded. So instead, I'm opting this, like, I'm just resigning myself. I'm probably going to take 3 points of damage when he attacks in on the next turn, at a minimum here. But playing a black mass to generate that card advantage. The way I kind of built this sealed deck is in order to make use of that black mass, like the majority of my minions in here are evil. So as you saw, like I got 3 card draw off of that black mass, so that sets me up for future turns here. Pulled a ghoul, a slobbermaw, both good pieces to have here. Landon able to get off kind of one of his bomb pieces there, the Abaddon Succubus, luring in the static servant, hitting it for 2, and then he heals for 2. Attacking for 3 points of damage, like I said before, with the Pentanite, just because I have no defenders for that. Playing the survivors in a more aggressive position, I think, just so he has some blocker. He wants I think he wanted a blocker for the Abaddon Succubus against the Forsaken that's in that corner there. Otherwise, he might have played it into the other corner on the valley, just to give it that free stealth. So I'm starting my turn here with 4 mana. I'm behind on board presence. I need to make some plays to stabilize the board here. I need to get rid of the Succubus, and that's kind of like my number 1 threat, I think, at this point in time. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Foul Bones, play that, just so I can sacrifice it for the Bone Spear. That will just straight up remove the Succubus, and then I'm just going to attack in and kill the survivors of Sarava survivors with the Forsaken. Tapping for a sight instead of attacking, just because I need that extra mana to pump out this Ifrit, just to put more threat on the board. And 4 power airborne is something that Landon has to deal with. Otherwise, it's going to be a big problem for him here. And I believe just like updating the updated the life totals late there. I don't think I recorded the last attack that he made. Tapping the Savior for a sight. He's sitting at 6 mana in his mana pool. So he's like set up. 6 mana is a lot of mana. You can do a lot of things with 6 mana in the game. Even with Savior, when you want an additional 1 for a ward. Attacking for 3, I cannot defend that, so he will do 3 points of damage to me. Continuing to bring my life total down. Playing Order of the White Fang. It comes in with a ward, he doesn't have to spend the mana to do it. And then playing a Virgin and Prayer that will ward itself. So that was, I think, 5 out of 6 of the mana that he has to force in a lot of blockers onto his sites, which again is a big problem. Again, I need another way to pop these wards. I have a flare. I think I have 2. No, well, I think I have maybe 1 flare in this deck, as I recall. I think, and that would be key. Like that would be great if I had that and was able to play it out, just pop every ward on the board, and then be able to start making favorable trades here. But as it sits right now, I think I'm in trouble. Five mana for turn. It's a lot of mana for me, and what I need to do with this deck. I can attack. I mean, the Persecutor is in a good position to start attacking, and just ransacking his sites here. The issue is that it's just really unpalatable to do that when he has so many blockers with ward. I'm taking damage just to remove the wards on these things. At that point, the Ifrit, yeah, it did 2 more damage to me when I started my turn. So like the timer on that thing has started. It is 4 power. It's the highest power thing on the board at this point in time. I just like it hurts, but I'm opting to attack with the Persecutor. Again, like I said, to do the 3 points of damage just to remove the ward. I didn't want to do it, but I needed to break a ward on one of his 3s here, and then force him to make some decisions about what he's going to do with the Virgin and Prayer, like how he's going to if he's going to choose to defend with it or not. So he popped the ward on that, and then he chose to I popped the ward with the Persecutor, and then he chose to just let the attack from the Forsaken go through for a trade. And I have the option here to either attack into the Valley to push 4 points of damage, or to attack in and break the ward on that Virgin and Prayer. I'm playing a Revenant, which is like kind of like whatever, because it's 3. It's conditionally 3 power, but then I'm essentially just using it as a sacrifice here to play out the Slaughter Maw, which is really inefficient and not that great, to be honest. But the Slaughter Maw is a 4 power, and I need a 4 power on the board to help contest a 3 power warded minion at this point. And I think I opted to attack in with the Ifrit to remove a ward, just because like I'm so far behind on health at this point. Getting 4 points of damage on the board, doesn't really move the needle. I need to be removing his pieces. Yeah, he's playing Gift of the Frog to create a frog token, draw a card. He gets the Holy Water out, which is just what he needs to kind of remove almost all of my minions in this deck. So a great removal option that came in for him there to remove their free. Great use of the Virgin, who otherwise is just a 1 power minion. It's not really doing much of anything else. Just double checking the Savior ability. I think I forgot if he was allowed to ward the frog or not with that ability. And he is, because the Gift of the Frog summons it. Savior doesn't say like has to be summoned from hand or things like that. It just says like when you summon, you can ward. Or summoned on this turn, you can ward it, as long as you pay the cost. That last play from Landon, the warded Penitent Knight, he just chose to move onto the desert, not attack it. So when it's just a move, I cannot choose to defend with the Slavermaw. I have to just let him take that reposition. He asked if he could see what was in my cemetery. I've got a couple things in my hand right now, but none of them are going to fully solve this issue about what I do. What do I do with this Penitent Knight with a ward on it? And it's tough at this point in the game with Savior now, because he has so much mana built up and established that it's virtually a guarantee that anything else that he brings into play will come in and be warded. So it's just like more things that I have to deal with and eat through. And also why it hurts that we don't have as wide a board state that I kind of wish we did at this point in time. I'm attacking with the Persecutor, taking a point of damage. I need to get something off the board here. He's opting not to defend with the frog. The frog is still there with the ward on it, so he's just got like an extra value from that defender. And still have 5 mana for turn, 2 for an ignited to pop the ward, and then use the Slobbermaw to remove that thing. Like I needed to get it off the board. So 2 for the ignited, and then 3 to play the ghoul to get something else on the board here, and then pass turn. So I think that was like, I had a ton of card advantage from the Black Mass. I'm kind of dwindling back down here. I have two spells in my hand now, but I'm currently ahead-ish on board state. I'm way down on life total here, and it just depends if he has anything else kind of in his hand that he can play here. Tapping him for a sight from the Savior. Moving the frog to reposition it. Playing a Paladin's Abowsier for 4. So a 4 power body that comes in with a ward on it. Super tough to deal with. For me at this point, like it eats my ghoul. It eats the Slobbermaw when it has that ward on it. It's just very likely with Paladin's Abowsier that you get a 2-for-1 on that thing if you can't deal with if you can't remove the ward from it in some way. So drew a spell for turn. I have a Screamer. Looking at my hand, I have a Screamer. I think it's a Ravenous Wolf. Costs 5, 3 power, has charge, movement +1, and I have a Gift of the Serpent. So Gift would be great for me here if I could remove the ward from the Paladin. Unfortunately, the problem is the only way that I'd be able to do that this turn would be if I attack in with the Persecutor, and that would take me to door. So it's like, do I want to go to door or just remove this ward just so I can cast Gift of the Serpent? To draw another card to hopefully find an answer for me here to give me card advantage to help stabilize this board in this game, and then lose the ghoul, or do I just kind of play out my things and set up to have some more blockers and kind of slowly watch the paladins eat my pieces. At the Screamer, if I played the Screamer on the Accursed Tower, I could force the paladins over onto his home site. That doesn't really get me where I want to be here. I might end up doing that. It's been a while since we played this game. At the time that I'm doing the audio recording on it now, and I don't remember exactly what I do in this situation. Yeah, no, I choose to attack in with the Persecutor instead of using the Screamer. And then it's likely then that I'm going to use a Gift of the Serpent here. Yeah, Gift of the Serpent to trade the Ghoul. I get to draw another card. I think, what is that? Was that a Ghostfire maybe? We'll have to see. 3 mana left in my mana pool. I can attack in with the Slobbermaw for 4 points of damage. And 3 mana left for a Screamer, which is both in attack position and also acts as a defender. It's not great. It's never great having to punch yourself the door, and it is a huge vulnerability to kind of leave yourself open to attack. I took the risk just because I didn't think he would have any minions that would have charge in this deck. He's running water, he's running earth, and he played a toolbox, and I said, I gotcha. And I was really curious. About what he had in those elements that would be a finisher for me here. So he splashes, he surprises me. He splashes a fire site, and then ghost fires me from his collection. And then when you're playing limited, your collection is everything that you drew, that you opened in packs, right? So that was a surprise, though. I didn't think that he'd have that desert in there. But desert is a great site to splash, just because even if you don't need that color, being able to ping something for 1 is still really strong. And additionally, also just having a toolbox, yeah, gives you access to finishers like that. A really fun game. Always fun to play Landon. Sad we had to face off each other in the event, but like I said, if all of your friends are doing well, eventually you're going to get paired with them. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next round.